Well, hey, hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is that you're checking in with us. Pastor Gabe here from my office, and it's been a while. I did we did these quarantine connections and daily or weekly words and stuff from various places while we weren't able to use the building. But I'm here in the comfort of our building here in Newman Lake, and I'm enjoying all of the amenities it has to offer because of God's just wonderful provision for us. So we're going to be doing a new thing with our weekly words. So we got together and talked and thought it would be good to do sort of a Sunday rewind, a recap, however you want to call it. I'm not sure if Pastor Chase has got a good title for it or not, but just kind of recounting and rehashing out some of the things that happened the Sunday beforehand. So, and not like a reteaching or repreaching, obviously, but just like what did it mean? What were some highlights? What are some takeaways? And how can we impact or implement that and use it for impact in our world and for our communities around us. So many of you know, and if you don't, just as a reminder for those of you who know, and then information for those who don't, we started a two-part series. I think it's just only 2 parts based on these final 4 selections that we asked you guys to participate in voting on this Sunday. The part 1 was how do I know the will of God? And so I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about my takeaway from that, what that did to me, what that felt for me, what I learned, just some of the cool stuff. And so Pastor Scott, as you know, gave that message, and you can check that out online. You can go watch it, rewatch it if you want to, and it's available for you. And the 2 things that he mentioned right off the bat that I thought were very helpful and very impactful was this idea of God's sovereign will and his delegated will, and how those are they're a little bit different in their function. Sovereign will of God is that things are set in motion. It's his plan, it's his purpose. This delegated will kind of says we have an idea how God wants us to work and act and respond according to what he set out for us to do, and kind of in obedience to him. And I get this question all the time of people asking me, well, I just want to do what the will of God is. And my problem, and this has happened with me too, my problem is that I have the ability to end up getting a little stuck or a little bit frozen up because I want to be acting in God's will, but I don't want to do something outside of that will. And that's where I love this idea, like I said, that Pastor Scott shared with us of the delegated will of God, that we've been given parameters, we've been given sort of free reign within the limits. Like we have a free sort of freedom there within certain limits that God has set out for us. And so for me, when I get to a place where I'm trying to determine the will of God, I'm trying to figure out what I should be doing with myself in order to be living inside of his will, I regularly come to this point where I have to just sort of do what I already know I'm supposed to do. And I think a lot of times God leaves us in that place sort of wondering even, are we going to do the things we've already been told to do? Are we going to be giving thanks regularly? Are we going to be, loving without hypocrisy? That's one of the things that Pastor Scott mentioned on Sunday. And doing those things that God has already told us we should be doing. And so when we want to know, okay, how can I be living in the will of God, but we don't necessarily have a direction, we don't necessarily feel we have a clear word from him on what to do, we are supposed to actually, I think, fall back into that idea that is actually explained really well in Colossians 3. It says, in everything you do, do it to the glory of God. No matter what it is, I'll read it here. It says, whatever you do, do it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. So whatever we do it with all our heart. So maybe you just need to do something that's going to bring honor to God. Maybe you just need to pray for someone. That's something that's God's will. Maybe you need to give thanks for something you know is God's will. And that will help you sort of pattern your life. And I do the same thing I got to do with me, pattern my life around living within that will and operating within his will. So that's just my little takeaway from last Sunday. Be checking this out for future words to come. And thanks for checking in.